So we're at the OR show.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out what the vibe is. There's always some kind of an element to every year's OR show. I'm trying to discover that element.
So they just came out with new models. The most expensive one is $1,500.
You want me to film you?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know anything about it.
You know, well, you're learning.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, the most expensive is the $1,500 one. And I can't remember what the cheapest one is, but it's the cheapest one only has one drive on it, driving one wheel. The next one up has the
Dual drive.
More power, more miles.
And they've got another one that looks like it has quattro drive, or is that just a battery pack?
No, it's a battery pack. The battery's in the front, the wires run under the grip. The boards and wheels are made by Loaded.
I was going to say, they look like orangutan wheels.
Yeah. All right, let's go talk to him.
This is awesome.
What? Speak up, son.
It's a loaded deck.
Yeah.
Orangutan wheels.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a lithium-ion battery.
Yeah, that's what he was just saying. He's like, oh yeah, same battery as the Tesla. So
and it looks like here's the dual drive and the single drive.
Yeah. So
it's got this super simple remote control.
So the one thing I wish they had is I wish they'd sell them as like a kit without the deck.
Sure.
Yeah.
So that's coming up too.
That's coming up?
Kit without the deck is coming shortly. We're coming out with more decks too.
Alright.
Tony Hawk has a longboard version. We also made him a shortboard with a kickflip on the end of it too. So he's been cruising around with it a lot. He loves it.
So do you know? Is there a reason why the gear is on the rear and not the front?
Not the front. Well, in theory, once you go forward, you lean back onto the back wheels. It actually lunges you back, so you have more weight distributed in the back. But it also goes in reverse too, so you can have that in the front too.
So
Yeah, it goes forward and in reverse.
Okay, because my thought is that so when you're going fast, because of the way the longboard works and the way the lean to steer works,
Sure.
you won't get speed wobble if your weight's on the front truck.
Yeah.
That's the most stable thing.
Yeah.
So my thinking would be if you make it some drives on the front, people will learn to put their weight on the front.
What's cool is you can ride it backwards,
Okay.
ride it in reverse as
it's
fast as you go.
as fast, okay.
As fast as forward too. So
Okay.
what's also awesome is speed wobbles no longer exist. You can control your speed going downhill. You can go 1 mile an hour. You can go from full speed going downhill to a complete stop very quickly.
So you can control the speed.
You can control the speed downhill. Not only that, but it also regens the battery as you go downhill. So it recharges the battery as you go. And it only takes 1 hour to charge the battery, which is awesome, right?
Yeah.
It's the lithium-ion phosphate batteries, the same batteries as Tesla electric cars.
Yeah.
It also has the same technology as the regen system in the Tesla electric cars too. So we got the open source patent rights from Elon Musk. We jumped on it right away. And we also have now 3 engineers that came from Tesla working for us now.
Oh, that's really cool.
So way cool.
Yeah.
And we're always trying to develop and make it better. So just recently we updated the firmware for efficiency between the battery and the motors. So all you have to do, since it's a Bluetooth wireless controller, you take your cell phone and you update your firmware. We're coming out with a traction control system because it's so powerful and strong. You can actually chatter tires off. You can chatter the tires at full speed. So once the traction control system comes out, the new firmware, all you have to do is take your cell phone and update your board.
That's really
which is
cool.
awesome. So we're always continuously trying to make new product and better as we go along.
All right. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Is there demo boards?
Yeah, definitely. If you would
push
like to try it.
Riley, do you want to try one?
I'll make a crack at it. I'll break my neck.
So I think it'd be really interesting to try to make other different wheels and get different wheels on here because I was thinking, of course, like flywheels and kegels would be really cool. But if you look here, this guard or whatever this is doing here, it actually overlaps the wheel space. So you'd be limited in of what size of wheel you could put on here even. So that would be, that's a little disappointing, but it's not by much. I wonder if you could have spaced out at all. Doesn't look like you have much extra room on the axle, which I think is just too bad because you can get some more versatility with a longer axle, and there's no reason not to since you're gonna have this bracket on here anyway, right?
Fortunately, it's a popular enough wheel that there's not too much change that people want to make.
Yeah, and they're probably Orangutan probably hooks them up with other wheels and other durometers and stuff if you want to, I'd guess, or at least eventually, of course.
And then what kind of trucks are they?
You said they were calibers, right?
Yeah.
So we can see it on the front here. Of course, they need to be building these for as OPs, but well, let them figure that out for themselves.
Cool.
Oh, so it's kind of got the electronics information, the FCC ID and stuff.
Oh,
That's really cool. It's a legitimate electronic device.
This dude's outside.
the motor, and you set the speed with that throttle on the thumb.
Wow, Riley, you're wearing a normal helmet.
All right. So, biggest thing, shoulder width apart. Anticipate that's going to lunge you backwards. So lean forward
as you would be.
Yeah. This is the front of the board where the arrow is, right? The more you roll the dial forward, the faster you're going to go.
Okay.
If you want to slow down and stop, roll the dial backwards. As you go down the hill here, control your speed by rolling the dial backwards, right? Mm-hmm. Also try freewheeling the board by not touching anything. And as you pull the trigger, feel the regen process turn on and start slowing the board down just a little bit.
So the trigger is the brake, essentially.
Kind of. More or less, the brake is going to be your roller dial back.
Okay.
Right?
So it's like a resistance.
Exactly. So the trigger is just like a resistance. You'll feel it slowly, like slowing the board down, but not by much.
So simply by rolling the dial, we'll control it forward or backward,
Yeah.
depending on what direction you're rolling.
Exactly.
Okay.
So if you're going forward, if you roll the dial backwards, you can slow down and stop. There you go.
All right. See what she does.
Yeah. Have a good time, man. Be safe.
Oh, he's off. I can't keep up with that.
Return!
All right, now it's coming uphill.
Woo! Carving uphill!
Whoa!
You want to take it for a spin? And it's pretty responsive.
Okay.
And if you just let go of it, it just works like a regular longboard. Ho-ho-ho! He's using the brakes right now. Oh!
Hey, what are those called?
Boosted longboards.
That was really hard. Trying to.
They'll go about 6 miles.
But yeah, going downhill and going backwards uphill. That's crazy.
It's madness. The braking feature is actually pretty sweet too.
Yeah,
if you're just
yeah.
out to cruise, it makes it really user friendly.
And it really is sensitive.
It's got a lot of power too, doesn't it? It'll buck you off super easy.
Yeah. Yeah, when
Here, do a burnout again. Remote controlled skateboard.
Yeah, let's try it at the front. I still think having it in the front is better until you do. The reason I think it front might be a bad idea is when you go to slow down, suddenly it's dragging in the front and the board wants to flip around, and that's going to throw it into wobble really bad. So you could set it up so that it has drive in the front and brake in the rear.
To kind of balance out the operations.
But then you have to double up your motors. But
oh, watch out.
oh my goodness!
Batteries.
I was afraid of that.
I've given it all she's got, Captain. Awesome.
Oh, sorry, what was that?
It was longboarding with power.
So,
It's like having a
unlimited power. I mean minutes.
I mean minutes. I rode it until the battery died. It's a totally different experience though, because the board is heavier,
I feel okay.
but it wasn't as big of a deal as what I was expecting it to be.
So,
And the most challenging thing was changing my weight on the deck to compensate for the amount of torque
and force it was going to give to you.
Yeah, so I had to anticipate when I was accelerating, and I had to anticipate when I was leaning back, and I had to anticipate when I was going to be applying the brakes and slowing down, which really required making changes to my body language
And a lot of consciousness.
as well as trying to make it turn and whatnot.
I thought it was really interesting, like learning all this stuff. I don't know. I enjoy like directly learning.
How to use something?
Yeah, and I thought that was a lot of fun. And that I think there's a lot of applications or a lot of good that can come from learning how to ride a board like that.
Yeah.
That'll be very beneficial to.
The one thing that I was dissatisfied with was trying to push while using the throttle,
Yeah, I don't think there's really a way around that though.
because the wheels are directly connected to the motors and the speed sensor is just trying to set a specific
Yeah. The only way
speed.
around that would be like a ratcheting wheel.
Yeah.
Just put your bike wheels on there and you're good.
So you just had to consciously disengage all the controls before you take your foot off and start pushing.
Yeah.
Then properly replant your feet before you started using the control again. So it was a totally new experience. It was like having a handbrake from a bicycle on your skateboard.
So how long do you think the wheels would last? Do you think it'd go through them a lot faster?
Because the board is heavier, it's more difficult to get it to drift and break loose, and
So it just doesn't handle in a way that you're gonna wear the wheels out so much?
not in the way that I would normally wear out a pair of skateboard wheels, but I would say that I was able to actually accelerate so hard, even with all my weight on it, that I could actually get the wheels to burn out.
Yeah, and if nothing else, they're still wearing out a lot more.
And I also found that if I put the brakes on, I would try slowing down and not have my weight in the right spot, it would also lock up the wheels. So you could easily flat spot the wheels simply by not having the correct weight.
Ah, yeah.
So that being said, yes, you possibly could wear out the
Well,
wheels.
here's the thing I just realized too, is so each wheel has its own motor. And technically both motors should be running the same speed all the time. And there's no way for the board to tell if you're turning or not. And so there's no real true differential, right? So it's up to the motors to provide the right feedback and see like, oh, I feel more force coming from this one. So there's ways around it, but it likely is going to cause additional wear, I would assume.
Totally. I think that one of the advantages that they do have is that because each wheel is independent on their motors, it has the opportunity to work and function like a differential.
So do you think it's even worth considering the board with only one motor?
After seeing the amount of performance that the two motors had, I would say that you would need the two, but I didn't ride it. But I will say that at my weight and the type of terrain that we have access to,
Oh yeah.
the two wheels would be ideal. Because I took it up and down that hill a couple of times, and after that it was done.
Yeah.
So,
Is there anywhere else you want to go? Anything else you want to be?
I think the party's over.
Yeah.
I saw
Oh,
what I
it's a
wanted
shame.
to see.
Shame that didn't have booths we wanted to see for some of the stuff. The exhibitors are coming in now. Look at this, coming up with their dollies, and the mannequins are all unclothed. So, or maybe they've been like this the whole time. Who knows? All right, guess the party's over. That's the OR show. Last day.
Longboard technology, riding the new power skateboard.
Yeah.
Over and out.